Give me a second, guys. You already know how I am with this damn phone thing. Here we go. Okay. Okay. I'm going to just get started and people will come in, I guess, eventually. Because I like to start my videos off, well, my lives, I like to start it off as soon as possible so everyone is aware. So, welcome to Intuitive Vibes Narc Survival 101. It's your girl Erica here. First and foremost, to anyone who is new to the channel, please be sure to, well, one, stick around. You might, hi Heather, welcome sweetheart. You might hear something that you need to hear pertaining to your situation. Two, if you do like the live chat, then go through some of my content. It might be helpful. If you find it to be helpful, then, hit the subscribe button. It takes you about 2 seconds to do it. And of course, to all of my returning subscribers, welcome back, guys. I made it on time this time. Okay? I made it on time. I made sure everything was set up good. And I made sure that I was prepared for everything. So, guys, welcome back. Okay, as we all know, the live chat is for survivors of narcissistic abuse, domestic abuse, toxic relationships, you name it. That's what it's for. It's for survivors of dynamics, relationships with people, whether it be romantic, whether it be family relationships, that have just gone through extremely tumultuous times with extremely toxic people. And of course, you can have it either way. You can have it with family, you can have it with romantic relationships. I've noticed that a lot of people are more familiar with narcissistic abuse when it boils down to really more romantic relationships. But when they start to do more digging and they start to do more investigating. When they start to do more digging and investigating, they start to learn that the people in their family dynamics are the root cause of the reason why they end up in narcissistic relationships. And I've noticed that when it boils down to the videos, a lot of people pay very close attention to videos pertaining to romantic relationships because a lot more people have, proven to be victims of narcissistic abuse when it boiled down to romantic relationships. Nonetheless, you're still able to heal from that. You're still able to get through that. So let's just keep that in mind. Okay, guys. So, guys, I hope you guys had a great weekend. Bit of a rough start for the week for me, but we keep pushing. We keep doing what we have to do. And I just recently put up a video. Hi, Magnificent. Welcome, sweetie. I recently put up a video. Actually, earlier this morning, I put up a video. Does the narcissist ever change? And I think I gave some really valid points as to why they don't change. And of course, if you've dealt with a narcissist, let's say you dealt with them in your family, and if you are just now finding out that, oh wow, a lot of these different qualities that a narcissist has, these people in my family have it, it's clear cut that they have no intention on changing. Narcs do not change for anyone. And the reason they don't change for anyone is because they feel that they don't need to change. They feel that there is nothing wrong with them. Okay. Everybody else has the problem. They don't. And, going down the list of what it is that we've learned about narcissists, about people who, pose narcissistic abuse on other people, is one, they're very entitled. Okay. They feel that they deserve. That's their key thing. I deserve this. I deserve that. Especially if they play a certain kind of role in your life. For example, if you're dealing with a narcissist who is the co-parent of your children or your child, a lot of them feel entitled. They feel entitled because they feel that root, that child or those children are what binds you together. And in some ways, listen, they're right in a sense of that child or those children are what connect you. But that entitlement of I can say and do as I please because we have a form of a connection, it really boils down to I can make your life a living hell if I want to, and there's nothing you can say or do about it. If you've ever co-parented with a narcissist, or if you are co-parenting with a narcissist, you'll notice how they really feel a lot of their behaviors, a lot of the things that they've done really shouldn't bother you. It shouldn't affect you. You should not feel some kind of way about the things that they're doing. You know, if you've had someone in your life, you're co-parenting with a narcissist, and they've been in your life for many years, and they've managed to demonstrate different forms of abuse, covert bullying, you know, they put you down, they treat you like crap in private, but in public, they're like, oh, you know, a completely different person. And of course, that also depends on who you guys are in front of. So if they're treating you like shit in front of people and they don't care, clearly that's because they don't care about those people either. They don't care about what they think, they don't care about what they have to say about it. Everybody is beneath the narcissist. That's their mentality. Everyone is beneath a narcissist. Hi, Gilbert. Hi, sweetie. So, as you know, their demented minds are looking in this, looking through eyes of, oh, I call them snake eyes, but they're looking through snake eyes. Their sense of entitlement, the things that they do, they can pretty much just get away with whatever it is they want to do, because you know what, you've put up with it for so long, and now all of a sudden you're acting like it's something new. Now all of a sudden you're acting different, you're acting funny towards them, and you know what crawled up your ass. That's their take of it. When the reality of it is that you just woke up. You woke up to a lot of the bullshit, to a lot of the nonsense, and you decided not to do it anymore. Kudos for you if you've done that. But yes, their sense of entitlement is just, it's extremely, like, it gives them that big head, okay? Another thing that they have about them, I mean, come on, guys, we know what a lot of narcissists come with. They come with entitlement. They come with arrogance. They come with deception. That's like no new feat. They come with gaslighting is manipulation. It's a manipulative tool, but it's also very commonly used when it boils down to narcissists, because the reason they utilize gaslighting is to it's to make you feel like you're going crazy. You know, it's to make you feel like you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're feeling. Like that's how far in gaslighting they go. So if you've ever confronted a narcissist and they're, you know, let's call a spade a spade. You confronted their bullshit and you're telling them, listen, I know this is what you did. I know this is what you said. I know this is what happened, but you know, you're trying to make me think that I'm going crazy. You're trying to make me feel like I'm going crazy when I know this is exactly what's going on. Oh no, you know what? Do you have a mental illness? You're mentally unstable. You know, you probably got a lot on your mind and you're confusing me with someone else, or you're confusing the situation with something else. No, you're not confusing anything with anything. You're not confusing anyone with anyone else. You know exactly what is going on. And the funny part about it is that even with the veil over your eyes, you can clearly see what's going on with these people. You can clearly see the bullshit that they're doing, the things that they're pulling, and yet you, in a way, you still try to give them the benefit of the doubt, if you've ever noticed that. So if you've been in a dynamic with a narc, even though a lot of the things that they're doing, a lot of the things that they say, okay, the harsh words, the harsh communication, the projection, the bullying, you know, everything, even though this is all going on in front of you, in a way, you're still trying to give. Hi, Anna. Welcome, sweetie. You're still trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, even though you know deep down inside your gut is telling you something's not right with this situation, something's not right with this person, or something's not right with these people. You still feel the need to give the benefit of the doubt. If you guys saw my video earlier today, I talked a lot about enablers. Enablers are people, which we are all at one point or at some point in our lives, we're all guilty of being this, okay? Where we have made excuses for them. We have accepted certain forms of abuse and have internalized that as a form of punishment, okay? So For example, if the narcissist, or I'm going to put general manipulator from your life, okay? Because they don't necessarily just have to be a narcissist. You guys could have dealt with a sociopath. You could have dealt with a psychopath. You could have dealt with a narcissistic sociopath. You could have dealt with someone who has borderline personality disorder. You could have dealt with anyone. But it all boils down to the tactics, okay? But now, though we have at one point, or at some points in our lives, have been guilty of being enablers, it's because we made those excuses. We sat there like, you know what? This person was really nasty to me today, but I must have done something wrong for them to come out to me the way they did. I must have said something that must have just like ticked them off, and I don't know how to fix it. It's not your job to fix it because it was not your fault to begin with. A narcissist will deflect blame. So if they're getting nasty, if they're getting rude, if they're getting, hostile, if they're getting volatile, and you're like, what? What is it now? What did I do now? That's like your first response, right? What did I do now? What did I do? What did I say? What? That's just like, what? You get to the point where you're like, what the hell is going on? And naturally, they're going to have you feeling like, I don't want to say you feel guilty for it. Well, then again, I know what that feels like, to feel guilty of being looked at for something I didn't even do. Like, if for example, I'm trying to give you guys a good example. All right, when it boiled down to, certain aspects of my relationship, I would get the really mean mug, right? They look at me really, really mean and really like just kind of nasty, and just be like, with suspicious, like a suspicious mind and suspicious eyes. And I would be like, what's the problem? What's wrong? And well, nothing. I know something's wrong. You're telling me nothing, but I know something is wrong. What's the problem? Well, what do you think is wrong? I don't know what is wrong. That's why I'm freaking asking you, what's the problem? Well, why don't you tell me what the problem? I'm like, and it was just like a back and forth thing. And you're like, what did I do? I don't know, Erica. What did you do? What did you do? What is it that you think that you did? They use that reverse psychology on you guys too. What is it you think that you did? I really don't know what I did, and I don't understand why I'm even being looked at like this, why I'm even being talked to like this. And it's just like that, making you feel like crap. They make you feel like crap, and it's all because they feel like crap. So misery loves company, right? So when they feel like a certain kind of way, or if they feel like, oh, I'm having a real crappy day, I'm having a real shitty day, but you, on the other hand, you're in your chipper mode, you're in your good mood, you're in your, hey, I'm having a good day, and I'm chilled, I'm laid back, I'm relaxed, I'm cool. Because they're having a crappy day, and they don't like the idea that you're having a good day, but they're having a crappy day, they're going to bring you down. They do that to it's like you're up here and they're down here. And because they don't want to climb up here to get up here with you, what they want to do is they want to bring you down here with them. Why the hell would you do that? Are you that miserable? And mind you, you've probably spent your entire relationship trying to make them happy. You'd probably spent your entire relationship trying to satisfy, fulfill every need. What you did not realize was you were not trying to fulfill, even though you thought you were trying to fulfill voids. A narcissist is like Swiss cheese. Okay. I know some of you guys like Swiss cheese, but they're like Swiss cheese, and they're filled with holes. Okay. They're filled with holes. So if you go and you take a chunk, or if you even put like, dig a little hole into the Swiss cheese, and you pour water into it, it's just going to come out of those holes. That's all it's going to do. It's just going to continuously come out of the holes. It's not going to fill up. Guys, I'm going to be looking down at my phone because you guys know that I'm blind, so I can't see the comments. Hi, Jade. Hi, sweetheart. All right, Gilbert. Feel better, hun. Thank you. Thank you, Anna. Yeah, I mean, it's they're never satisfied. They're never satisfied with anything that you do. Okay. And they've been raised to be that way, because generally a narcissist was raised by parents who were also never satisfied. They were never satisfied with life. Okay. They were never satisfied with, how their life turned out. They were never satisfied with if the children was trying to fulfill the parents' egos, or trying to, just trying to give and give and give. And because the parents have put that onto the narcissist, well, you know what? You'll amount to, because remember, guys, narcissists they could have been scapegoats too. Okay. They could have been scapegoats too. Just because a narcissist is known to be very charming, very amorous, very, all with the love bombing, and I not every narcissist love bombs you. Okay. And I've said this in the live, not last week, but the week before that, because you have vulnerable narcissists that will not, they'll appear to be very shy and very reserved and very held back. So not every narcissist is going to love bomb you, but you have those that will, like if you're dealing with someone, in case some of you are not familiar with what love bombing is where they're just like, they come full force with the, just on top of you, throwing the soulmate card out there. Oh, where have you been all my life? Oh, you just, me on so many different levels. I feel like we're meant to be together forever and a day, and all that bullshit, because that's exactly what it is. If it's not genuine, if it's not coming from a place, within your heart, it's love bombing. That's what it's called. Not every narcissist is going to do that. You have different types of narcissists. I had someone who commented on one of my on the video that I put up, and not on the video I put up, I'm sorry, he commented on my female cerebral narcissist video, and he said, this is totally describing my ex-girlfriend. And he's only been a week, no contact. But he says, is it possible that she could be a cerebral, somatic, sexual, classic, covert narc? It's just like he was just throwing so many at me. And we got to understand, guys, that every narcissist, they're not all the same. They're not all going to act the same. They're not all going to treat you in the same manner. It's not like they do it on cue. Like, okay, everybody's in a relationship. You got 10 people in a relationship with narcissists, and at the snap of a finger, they're moving on to the next phase. Every relationship is different. But I did explain to him that you have types and you have subtypes. The types would be covert or overt, right? Covert meaning behind the scenes. Overt meaning out in the open. It's very noticeable. Everybody can tell that this person is just like beyond full of themselves. Then you have the subtypes, which are the somatic, malignant, cerebral, classic narcissists. These types of narcissists would fall under one of the first two types. Can you have a covert, somatic, cerebral narcissist? Yes, you can. Can you have a overt, cerebral, malignant narcissist? Yes, you can. So every narcissist is similar, but they're different. They're different. You have some narcissists that will go full throttle and trying to destroy you, like literally just trying to destroy you. And then you have some that will just kind of just try to smear your name or make you look like, a complete asshole in front of people. So they're not all the same. They're not going to run all the same tactics with you. They're not going to do, it's everybody is different. And I've had my fair share of dealing with, once I learned the different intricacies of narcissism, I learned what love bombing is. I was able to determine who in my life was a particular type of narcissist. And it's crazy. I was able to determine this person was an overt, malignant narcissist. This person was an inverted, vulnerable narcissist. This person, and it's crazy because after going through these types of relationships, after dealing with these types of people, you ever notice how you didn't know a damn thing about narcissism? You didn't know anything about it. And the minute you went through the motions, that was like your peak, because you were dealing probably with several different narcissists in your life. But that one particular time, at that one particular moment, that was pretty much the catalyst that just, everything blew up. Now, after learning everything that you've learned, you're a freaking expert on narcissism. You're an expert on learning the different the different dynamics, the different tactics, the different, the different phrases, the different ways they would try to hoover you back. And you learn all of these things. And it's amazing how it took that one time with one particular person, because like I said, you guys have probably dealt with narcissists before, but they didn't have as much as an effect on you until you dealt with one in particular. And the one you dealt with in particular was the one that you thought, this is it. This is it. And you put all your eggs in one basket and you said, yep, this is it. This is the one that I want. This is the one that I want to be with. This is my person. And it's kind of like the devil just went up underneath you. And I was like, sorry, no, another trick. It's like the devil was playing tricks with you. And that's exactly what it was. Narcs don't want you to be happy without them. Yes, Anna, absolutely true. Absolutely true. Hi, Jason. Welcome. Alicia, welcome, my love. It's amazing how many different ways they find to contact you. Yeah. Interestingly enough, and this is why I tell people, when you go no contact with someone who clearly, and like I said, it's not just a narcissist, guys, it's anybody who is who just thrives off of manipulation. Okay, we label it narcissism because it is what it is with that, but let's not limit it to that. Let's not limit it to just narcissism. Let's basically broaden it and say anyone who is clearly manipulative, clearly toxic, clearly unhealthy for you, unhealthy for your physical being, your mental being, just clearly on that scale of pathological liar, okay? And they could be anywhere on the scale, whether it be narcissism, whether it be sociopathy, whether it be psychopathy. You have to, one, and I've said this before, because a lot of the time what people do is this. They think that, well, I'm going to not talk to the narcissist. I'm not going to talk to the person at all. I'm going to totally block them. Okay, that's fine. Blocking them is fine. But number one, when it comes to no contact, you have to go above and beyond. You can't just say, okay, I'm just going to block your number from my phone. Okay, so we're going to pretend like they can't get fake numbers. We're going to pretend like they can't use someone else's phone to contact you. We're going to pretend like, you understand? This is of course is for people. This is for people who are serious about it, like serious about no contact, serious about moving forward, serious about healing, serious about breaking those generational curses. Okay. You have to, one, change your phone number. Okay. You have to change your phone number. Some cases I would say change your home address, but that's not always an option for people. You do have to change your phone number. That will, of course, give them no entry, no communication in that aspect. Okay. And as far as your phone is concerned, you just blocking them and just saying, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm just going to block you. Narcissists can be extremely petty. Okay. Extremely petty. And if they wanted to, there are plenty of apps where you can get fake phone numbers. And what they're doing is they're triggering you. Okay. They're triggering you. They know they're triggering you. They know. Hi, Andrea. Welcome, my love. I'm so happy to see everybody here. They're triggering you and they know what they're doing. So by just blocking them and saying, okay, well, I blocked them from my phone, so now, they can't bother me. Now that doesn't work that way. They know how to find other ways to get around it. Number two, emails. Listen, I have a few emails. I have emails that I use obviously for the channel. I have emails that I use for work, and I have emails that I use for my other business. When it boils down to, certain types of emails, I mean, there's only very few people have a limited amount of my emails, but they will try to obviously contact you through your email. I would strongly, everybody has emails for different reasons. So if you cannot get rid of your email address, if you can't, you can just you would have to just block them, block their email address. I mean, it's not to say that they won't make other email addresses to try to contact you, but at the end of the day, this would be bordering harassment. Okay? It would be bordering harassment. And in most cases, if you're trying to go no contact and you're trying to stay away from the person, but they're continuously harassing you, hold on to those emails because you might need them sometime in the future anyway. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Another thing when it boils down to no contact, leaving your social media open. All right. And, listen, you can block them, you can delete them. You could do everything that is necessary on your end. It does not mean that they won't create fake pages. It does not mean that they won't lurk around, because narcissists are known to watch, they're known to stalk, they're known to, it kind of like try to intimidate you in a sense. When it boils down to me, I mean, I don't leave room for that. I don't leave room for any of that. I am seriously the kind of person that, as much as I loved you and as much as I would have hoped things would have worked out and hoped things would have happened the way, I would have wanted them to happen, at the end of the day, once you've managed to show me what kind of person you are, and once you've managed to show me that I can't trust you, I completely obliterate you. I just completely obliterate you. And I mean, there were a lot of other factors that made me not only pull myself away, not only block myself from the individual and other people that, well, their family members, is because I knew for a fact, everything that went down, as shady as it was and as, upsetting as it was for me, I knew for a fact at that time, if I had not done it, and I was afraid, guys, I was afraid that, I prayed on it. I said, I deep in my heart don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this. But there was a part of me that kept pushing me like, listen, you need to understand when something is no good for you. And you need to understand that you went through all of this for a reason. So when I decided to not only block the person and, and their family and whoever else they were affiliated with, I decided that I was going to take it up a notch. So I changed my number, and clearly I moved from my old address to, to where I'm currently living now. I had decided that, what, as much as I'm terrified, I was terrified because I had loved the person. I really loved the person. And it was hurtful, and I was angry at the same time, because I'm sitting there saying to myself, damn, I had this person's back. I was so, faithful and truthful and loving to this person. And this is how they did me, like this was just beyond betrayal for me. But I knew that once I did it, I was going to be in pain, but I had like this feeling of everything is going to be okay. And I think that's one of the problems that a lot of victims of narcissistic abuse have, especially in the beginning stage, is they're afraid. They're afraid. They're afraid of, am I making the right choice? Am I making the right decision? Because, when you are detaching from a relationship with a narcissist, you are detaching from a traumatic bond. You're detaching from a connection that was filled with trauma, toxicity, abuse, manipulation, bullying, everything. You were so complacent in that dynamic. You were so accustomed to it that breaking free from it is kind of like being a child and walking for the first time. Am I ready to do this? But I still love this person. But I still want to be with this person. That's all the trauma. That wasn't love. That was all the trauma. That's all it was. It was the addiction. It was the addiction. If you guys saw the post that I put up on YouTube, how breaking free from a narcissist is compared to a heroin addict when they are trying to break free from the drug. It's very hard. It's very hard. So if you can imagine, if you don't do drugs, but you can imagine how, people who have substance abuse problems, how hard it is for them to break free from those drugs. That's exactly what it feels like breaking free from a narcissistic relationship, from someone who is a narcissist. Because believe it or not, guys, that trauma bond, that bond acted as a needle where they inserted it from themselves into you. And I call it venom. I don't even call it medication, because medication is supposed to make you feel better, okay? But the venom that was inside that needle was the trauma that they were passing on to you. So everything they were doing to you, everything they were passing on to you was trauma that was given to them, was trauma that was passed on to them. And, I don't make excuses, guys. You know that already. I don't make excuses for these people. But this is the logical aspect of it. This is the psychology aspect of it. That's exactly what was happening. They were passing trauma onto you. So while they're doing all of this, they're confusing you because they're mixing it with, I love you, I'm sorry, I know I was being an asshole, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. And they give you flowers, and they give you candies, and they like, let me take you out to dinner. Or they'll come up to you, they'll rub up on you, and they'll caress you, and they'll be like, you know what, I'm sorry. Listen, I was having a bad day, or they'll try to justify their abuse. They'll try to say, well, listen, if you hadn't been this way, and they'll try to do it in the most cool, calm, serene way possible. Listen, Erica, if you hadn't acted this way, maybe I wouldn't have come out this way to you. I would have probably come out another way to you. That's deflection. That is deflection, guys. They're basically saying, well, if you hadn't been seeing through my bullshit, I wouldn't have tried to rip you a new asshole. That's pretty much what they're saying. Okay? And yes, there was lots of fear, but when I left, I felt I could finally breathe. I felt like I couldn't breathe before. Then the fog blew through. Therapy, I got out the fog. That's great. That's great to hear. Alicia, I remember actually having withdrawal symptoms after being discarded from the narc. It was horrible. Night sweats and grinding my teeth at night. That trauma bond is really scary. Yes. I've been there. I've been there, guys. And I told you guys about it before. And it was crazy. I was in bed, and it was like maybe 2, 3 in the morning. And my TV, I have this thing, I can't fall asleep without my TV being on. My TV was on. And when you've gotten to a point that you cried so much that you can't cry anymore. You just can't cry anymore. That your body is like, all right, you've cried all day, and it's time to shut down. When you finally think you're going to finally get some form of peace, you're finally going to get some kind of sleep, and you fall, and I'm drifting into a sleep, guys. I'm just like, finally, falling asleep. And all I remember, I don't even remember, it just took over me, and my body was just completely shaking. I was just like, my body was pumping like back and forth. I was jerking, and you would have thought I was possessed. That's the only way I can describe it. You would have thought I was possessed. Hold on one second. Let's see. Jason, I moved twice and took out 3 court orders, and even had door locks changed on my old property. They put me in a hospital on 9th of May 2019. They sent people around threatening. You know what, Jason? And that just borders psychopathy. Like, when people get like that, they get really, really like just volatile and really, to the point where your life is being threatened. It's just like, okay, what the hell, dude? Like, really, what the hell? Why? You notice how narcissists, they'll discard people. They will treat them like trash. They'll treat them like options. They'll treat them like they're nothing. They'll do all of this, right? When you finally say, okay, fine, this is what you want, and you finally give in, and you just say, okay, you know something? I give up, waving the right flag, throw it at them, and you turn around and you go the other way. It's like, wait a minute, you put me through all of this. You pushed me away. You discarded. You did all of this stuff. And now that I'm actually complying with you, and I'm saying, okay, screw this, I'm out. Now you want to come in even further, and you want to make my life a living hell? Listen, okay? That is the most just hypocritical, demented, distorted way of thinking. Like, who does that? Who does that? But I've come to learn in my studies, guys, I've come to learn with narcissism, this is how they are. This is how they are. They treat you like you're a yo-yo. They will treat you like you're a yo-yo. You ever notice how you've gone through a whole spiel with them? They have, episodes. They go through narcissistic rage, and this all happens on a Monday. And then come Wednesday, they're, hey, how are you? How's everything going? And they're talking to you like normal, like if nothing happened, like absolutely nothing happened. Like, wait a minute, hold up. So you just went American Psycho on me on Monday, and you're coming here to me now on Wednesday and acting like nothing happened. Like, do you not recall what just happened on Monday? And their thing is, well, that was in the past. I mean, look, I'm good now. Like, no. No. I don't know. And you keep that psycho bipolar borderline bullshit away from me. I don't think so. Awake now. I traveled to the countryside and became a farmhand after breaking it off with a narc. My mind imprinted the trauma onto every location in my neighborhood. Had to get out. You know something? And I considered doing that too, Awake. I considered doing that too. I considered before the pandemic hit, I had considered moving out of New York. Like, I wanted to get out of New York so bad. I really wanted to get out of New York. I said, I don't care where the hell I move. I just want to get the hell away from New York, because I just got so tired of being reminded. I got so tired of being reminded. And at one point I thought about it, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And I was going to move to Texas. I was going to go move to Texas. My brother lives out in Texas, and he was like, listen, if you want, you come stay out here. Come stay with me. And you find a job, get a car, do what you got to do. It's, the way of living out there is a lot different from New York. But I was so fixated on getting away from everything. And you can even ask Amanda, because she'll tell you, I was talking to her about moving to Texas. Like, I was seriously going to do it. And I don't know. I with the pandemic and everything hit, and I'm like, okay, maybe that's my sign. I should stay in New York. I don't know. But it's just like, you want to get away from it all. You don't want to be reminded. You don't want to be reminded. You don't listen. And I'm stating this publicly. I actually have to go through my social media, because there are people that are there's one person in relation to the person of my past that I have to delete from my social media, because I'm not trying to be triggered. I'm really not trying to be triggered. And I'm not talking about being triggered in a sense of emotional pain. I'm talking about being triggered in the sense of, when I cut ties with everybody. I cut ties with everybody. First and foremost, when you've dealt with a narcissist, their family doesn't deal with you afterwards. Okay, when a narcissist has discarded you, when they have done everything they could possibly do to break you and bring you down, and you have come to this point. Let me explain the difference, guys. If you're still in victim mode, you're still a victim, okay? And you haven't really reached survivorship yet, but you're still a victim, and you're still on the fence of, do I want to let this person go? Am I ready to go? Am I ready to break this off? Nah, they'll deal with you. They'll deal with you, because they know that that's a game for the narc. So the narc is, pretty much doing like a yo-yo. Okay. But when you have decided to stand in your own power, and you decided to say, no, not only am I not going to be a victim anymore, not only am I not going to sit here and cry and just, feel sorry for myself and just, feel like I'm nothing, but I'm going to show the fucking world what kind of people you are. And by people, I mean what kind of narcissistic, abusive assholes that you are. I'm going to expose it to the world. I'm going to let everybody know that I'm not the one to be fucked with. And I'm going to let everyone know that they can get through their healing. Narcissists don't want you to know that. These types of people don't want you to know that. They want you to stay stuck. So what do? They try to isolate you. So they're going to try to isolate you from other people, especially if you're in that victim mode. They'll try to isolate you. They'll try to keep you away from other people because, you know, I mean, listen, when you were with the narcissist, you were friends with their friends, right? When you were with the narcissist, you were friends with their family. When you were with the narcissist, you were friends with people that they were affiliated with, or you were affiliated with those people. What generally happens is that when they're planning on doing the discard, they're going to their new supply, they're doing whatever it is that they're doing, they try to isolate you. They try to ice you out. It's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's just kind of like this. You know, like this is you, this is the new supply, right? So what they're kind of doing is they're just like, you know, kind of like trying to covertly, you understand? They're trying to covertly like put you behind the scenes, and they got their new supply. And whatever that supply may be, it can be money, it could be drugs, it could be females, it could be guys, it could be attention, it could be anything, guys. It could be anything. And yes, Erica, I still think about moving far away. This pain was so real and so huge. Trust me, I know how you feel. I want to start fresh. Not sure yet what my plan is. Waiting for this last court session before I decide what my next move is. I hope that once everything goes through, you know something, I see it this way, okay? Speak it into existence, sweetie. Speak it into existence. Start looking at different places. Start looking around. Start looking around and really push in that direction. Really push, you know, if you want to move, let's say to Florida, if you want to move to California, if you want to move, you know, Hawaii, wherever it is you want to go. Speak it into existence and continue to just like focus on it. Focus on it. Focus on, this is going to happen the way I want it to happen. This is going to happen in my favor. And because I know this is going to happen in my favor, I'm making plans, you know, do what do they call it? One of those picture boards, those vision boards. Do that, you know, and continue to continue to put it in your brain. After this is done, and once I've succeeded with this, I'm moving on to this, you know. And I always encourage people, because, you know, where you are, where you live, your domain, your home, it's your safe haven, guys. And wherever you are, if you do not feel safe, you need to go. You need to go. That's just the way it is. You should always put your peace as priority. Your mental health is a priority. All right. You have not had, first of all, your needs were not a priority. Your mental health was not a priority. Okay. Your emotions were not a priority. None of it was a priority. Hi, Exclusive. Welcome, sweetie. Your emotions was not a priority. None of it was a priority, because to people of this caliber, guys, you're in the commitment. They are single. You're in the commitment, but they are single. Okay. They do things that single people do, even though they're in a relationship with you. All right. And if you happen to catch whim of certain things, you happen to bring certain things to their attention, you're immediately going to be met with narcissistic rage. You're immediately going to be met with all types of nonsense, all types of bullshit. That's all it is. You're going to be met with these things because at the end of the day, regardless of how the narcissist made you feel, the truth of the matter is they need you. They need you. That's why they do all of the things that they do. That's why they gaslight. Who has time to sit here gaslighting people? I know. That's why they manipulate. Who has time to do all of that? Who has time to sit here and try to plan out and scheme things up? I don't got time for none of that. I don't have time for any of that. You know, and they tend to think that because their behaviors may have worked on other people, it's going to work on you. You know, it's going to make you submit to them fully. Narcissists don't expect you. These types of people don't expect you to stand up for yourself, and they don't expect you to walk away. They never expected you to walk away. They expected you to be hurt. They expected you to stay stuck and stagnant in that, you know, just in that in closed space. They expected you to be around to wait forever. They expected you to forgive them when they decided to come back and try to hoover you back in. They expected all of these things from you, but they did not expect you to get up and say, screw this, I'm out. keep your whatever it is that you got going on there. Did not expect it at all. Butch, I feel I'm too rooted to move. Hi, by the way. Hi, Butch. But what I'm trying to figure out as of today is I've been starting to have flashbacks a year later. Is this a common thing? Yes. Yes, it is. It is a common thing. But what you're experiencing, because after everything you've gone through, first and foremost, guys, the most common thing that one experiences after detaching from a relationship of narcissistic abuse is PTSD. PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. You will experience it, Butch. Okay? You will be getting flashbacks. You will be getting memories. Certain things are going to remind you. Okay? There could be if a song comes on, if a TV show comes on, if you, for example, let's just say every summer you guys went and got ice cream from Mr. Softy. If you hear a Mr. Softy truck coming down the block, that's going to trigger you. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while because you're dealing with PTSD, and PTSD is more. PTSD is kind of like, just like how their antics and their tactics are their defense mechanism, the gaslighting, manipulation, and things to that effect. PTSD is our defense mechanism. Okay. If certain things, we basically associate certain behaviors. So like me, for example, I have this big thing. You guys know I'm a big fan of Dunkin' Donuts, right? I always go to Dunkin' Donuts every single day. I go to Dunkin' Donuts. When I was in my relationship, we would always go to Dunkin' Donuts every single time, whether he was picking me up from work or, we were just going out or whatever the case may be. We always, because that was always my thing. Every single time. Ironically enough, when I first told him I loved him, that was when we established the relationship. It was at a Dunkin' Donuts. It's crazy. When we first met, we went to Dunkin' Donuts. We would always, talk. It would be by Dunkin' Donuts. When I told him I loved them, it was by Dunkin' Donuts. And my discard. I gotta laugh at it, guys. I have to laugh because the freaking irony is just hilarious. Part of my discard was at Dunkin' Donuts. So you can imagine how hard it was for me to go to a mother freaking Dunkin' Donuts because I was constantly reminded. Of it. I could not go to the Dunkin' Donuts, one, with the discard. When the discard happened, there was no way in hell I was going to that Dunkin'. But like I said, my discard happened in several different places. Don't ask me how, don't ask me why, because it was a very prolonged discard. It was not just a one-day thing. It actually happened for quite a few days. But every time I went to a Dunkin', I would feel myself getting triggered. I would feel myself, I remembered so many different things. I would order my coffee, and whenever when I was with this person, I would order my coffee, I would order their coffee. So if I would go to Dunkin', because it was such a pattern, it was such a consistent pattern, I would be like, they would tell me, oh, well, iced coffee, so-and-so. Yeah. Oh, and a hot coffee. No hot coffee. No. Just my iced coffee. It was hard. I mean, it's funny. And the irony, it's funny, but it was hard because I was constantly being reminded. I was getting flashbacks. I was experiencing, PTSD for me was every time I was reminded about something, I would start to cry. I would break down and I would cry. I would hurt and I would just cry and I would cry. And, everybody experiences PTSD very differently. We don't all experience it the same way. So what may trigger me may not trigger you. What may trigger you may not trigger me. And of course, if you're at a point where you can just be able to tell your story without even shedding a tear for it, then you know that you're getting there. You're getting there. I'm sorry, guys, because I have some people commenting on Facebook also. Jason, I have been isolated and they don't want me to have another relationship. Screw them. Who are they to tell you can't have another relationship? They've done everything possible. If this person or the people that you dealt with are narcissists, okay, if they're seriously on that scale, on that spectrum, who are they to tell you that you shouldn't have a relationship? You discarded me, remember? You decided to leave me, remember? You decided to treat me like dirt, you know, just break more glass in my hands. You decided to step on my hand with broken glass to just deepen the cuts. Then you threw salt on it, and now you have the audacity to sit here and tell me, or not even tell me because narcissists are not very direct, but you have the audacity to try and keep me from actually being in a relationship with someone else. The fucking audacity, man. No, no. Jason, you'll trust me, honey, you'll get over it. Trust me. When your mind, your heart right now is trying to catch up to your brain. It's trying to catch up to your brain. When you're dealing with this type of experience, your heart hasn't caught up with your brain. Your brain, you basically had your brain on sleep mode. You understand? You had it on sleep mode because had your brain been working like effectively, had it been working throughout the entire process, because remember, our brain is logical. Our brain is logical. Your heart is emotional. Your brain would have told you, get the fuck out of Dodge, man. Like, seriously, this is clearly a problem. This is clearly toxic. But because your heart was doing all the thinking for you, all the feeling for you, that's why you feel the way you do. You will be able to break free from that. You will be able to break free from that. They want you to think that you're not able to break free from that. They want you to feel like, you can't live your life without them. You would not be anything without them. That's what they want you to feel, because they want to keep you stuck. They want to keep you in that pattern. They don't want you to find your way out. You ever notice how dealing with people of this nature is like running through a maze? It's like like a mouse running through a maze, right? They don't want you to find your way out. So what do they do in the interim while you're trying to run through this maze, trying to get through this maze? What are they doing? They're throwing you breadcrumbs. They're throwing you breadcrumbs. They're periodically reaching out to you, sporadically reaching out to you, or trying to see where you are, who you're dealing with, what's going on, and so forth. Because once they've gone for their new supply, once they've done whatever it was that they've done to you to go for whatever it was that they went for, and they see that that new supply is not doing for them what you've done, oh, trust and believe, they will try to go back to you. They will try to convince you, I made a mistake, I'm sorry, forgive me. And no, 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 no. I mean, listen, you guys, I'm very honest with you guys, and I'll tell you straight up. If you want to forgive someone who left you for someone else or for other people thinking that they could find better, the only reason why they're coming back is because not only did they not find better, but they know that you're capable of finding better, because you wouldn't have done that to them. You wouldn't have done that to them. Anyone who has to leave you to be with someone else, not leave you for themselves, just leave you because, oh, well, this looks shinier over here. This looks prettier over here. This looks better. Okay, cool. No problem. Go for it. Go for it. Let them go for it. Let them go for it, because you put up with so much. You have, and you thought they were flaws, guys. You thought they were just little flaws. Oh, this person has flaws, but I'm sure if I love them more, I'm sure if I show them something that they've never experienced, because they told you that they've never experienced it before. Okay? They've never experienced it before. I'm sure if I'm different and I show them that I am different, that they'll become a little bit more vulnerable. They'll open up to me. They'll become, they'll change. They'll see that I'm the right choice for. No, no. I would love to tell you that yes, these people are capable of changing, and yes, they're capable of realizing, but no, no, I'd be lying to you. I'd be lying to you, and then I'd be giving you false hope, and then I'd be encouraging you to say, well, okay, maybe let's treat. No, no. They knew what they were doing when they were doing what they were doing, guys. They knew. I'm gonna say it again. They knew what they were doing when they were doing what they were doing. Okay? They knew they were hurting you. They knew they were lying to you. They knew what they were doing, and they did not give a shit about it. They didn't give a shit about you. They didn't give a shit about your feelings. They did not care. They cared about their instant gratification. They cared about what they can get from whatever the hell it was they were going for. That's what they cared about. They were not thinking about you. They were not caring about you. To be truthful with you, they never were. Narcs are very guarded. They're very closed off people. Okay? They posed empathy. They posed sympathy. They projected onto you their trauma, but they projected for you what they thought that you wanted to see. Okay? And they were very good at it, because if they weren't good at it, they wouldn't have gotten very far, and we wouldn't be here right now. I love you guys. You know that. So I would never encourage you, never, ever, ever encourage you to ever go back to anything like that. Never. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. It's too exclusive. Why do I want to go to the places we used to go, but still get sad after I leave? Well, because it's bringing back memories. It's bringing back memories of a time where you both felt good, where you both were, feeling good, or at least where you were feeling good. Those were memories for you. For them, I can't really say that they were memories. They were just, okay, yeah, they were places that we went, places we hung out. Exclusive, I want you to understand something. All of that gets thrown out the window. Everything you've done with this person, everything you've ever done in your relationship with this person gets thrown out the window, because at the end, that's who they truly are. That's who they really are. Okay? All of that, where you're sitting there wondering, what the hell did I do to deserve this? Why are you doing this? Why are you talking to me like that? Why are you saying this? Why are you saying that? That's who they are. So those memories that you have of going out, going to different places, hanging out, going to dinner, doing whatever, that was all, it was an illusion. That's all it was. It was just something to present to you. Okay? If they know for a fact, if they're going to bring you a platter of something, it has to be a platter of something that's going to appeal to you. They put shit on a platter, they know you're not going to eat it, right? So clearly they're not going to do that. What they're going to do is they're going to put something on the platter that appeals to you. Okay? Narcissists, this is where their emotions come from. Okay? They don't have empathy. They do not carry empathy. They don't carry sympathy. This is where everything comes from. So these thoughts, they basically learn people. They study people. They learn the ins and outs of romance. They'll, okay, this person, this couple is kissing, they take notes, they write things down, or, they just keep it in their head. They absorb information. That's what they do. They absorb information, and then they learn how to apply it. They learn when to apply it. That's pretty much how they were able to create those memories for you. So if you were, going out to dinner and you were having fun and you were going to the movies and you were enjoying the good times and everything, your mind is fixated on that. It's stuck on that, because your mind, your mind is trying to tell you this is what's going on, but your heart is telling you, yeah, but remember those times when this happened, and remember when they were being sweet to you, and remember that your mind and your heart are conflicting with each other. They're fighting with each other, and you're torn between the two. You're torn between the logic and the emotions that you felt. Okay, they were just doing what they deemed fit at the time, because it was something to appease you. It was something to appeal to you. And unfortunately, these types of people are just, they're a drag. They really are. They're a drag. And all they're going to do is end up dragging you down even more. You're going to still feel it though. It's going to happen. You're still going to feel it. Magnificent. With a narc, it's all transactional. Remove emotions from the equation. You can basically think of a narc as a self-serving android bent on survival at your expense. Yep, exactly. Exactly. Oh, Heather, I'm sorry. Eric, you didn't see my question. Why do the flying monkeys contact you? To trigger emotions, reactions? I think I have some CPTSD or PTSD after the breakup, and the flying monkeys contacted me. It's not uncommon, Heather. It's not uncommon. They could contact you because the narcissist is putting them to contact you. They can reach out to you because, you know, I don't know, maybe it could be one of a few reasons. Either the narcissist is doing triangulation, or they're trying to use a third party to, because they do that too. If they want to hoover you back in, they use another party to contact you, just to kind of see. It's like testing the waters. It's testing the water. Excuse me. They want to see, is there any chance? Is there any, even a speck of a chance? Because if they have any kind of idea that there may be a slight chance that they can possibly hoover you back in. But of course, they know that if they do it directly themselves, it's not going to happen. So what do? They get other people to do it. They get other people to contact you. They get other people to try to be the voice of reason. It depends. But in most cases, I can see a narcissist doing it to try to trigger you, to try to like bring you back to that dark place, bring you back to the feelings. And first and foremost, I know how long you've been healing, Heather, and trust me, it has not been long enough. It has not been long enough. And the mere fact that they have someone contacting you, even though it has been, the length of time has been somewhat a good amount, but it has not been long enough, lets me know that they're just trying to bring you right back. They're trying to bring you right back into your emotions, into your feelings. So they can maybe play with that. Or maybe they're just completely sadistic and they want to play with you from afar. A lot of them could be like that too. They'll try to, I see that you're moving on. I see that you're doing your own thing. I see that you don't need me. And you know what? Okay. They do it to test you. They do it to push your buttons, even from a distance. That's why I told you, when it boils down to their family, do not bother with them. Don't bother with any of their family members. None of them. None of them. I don't care if they're not narcissists. I don't care if they're just, we're just staying out of it. We really don't. Those are fucking enablers. If you are not confronting an abuser, if you're not sitting there saying, this is wrong, what you're doing is wrong, you are enabling, and you're just as worse. You understand? So family members of narcissists who don't do anything about the situation, who don't do anything about the abuse, they want to sit there and be like, okay, we didn't know. You didn't know. You didn't know. So is it coincidental that every single person that this person, and this is what brought me to the point of my video, guys, from earlier, every single person that has come into this person's life, every single freaking one of them were the ones with the problem, and your little narky punk ass bitch of a relative was never the problem? Are you serious right now? Are you seriously going to be that naive? And you're going to sit there and say, we didn't know. We didn't know. Come on. Come on. Come on. No. That's an excuse. Absolutely. Guilt by association. Absolutely. Yeah, Heather. They definitely, people, and when it boils to the family, listen, I don't shame anybody. I don't shame anybody. I don't sit here and say, oh, your family's shit and your family's this and your family's that. Look, your family ain't never do anything for me, so it doesn't matter. What I'm saying is, when you have dynamics like there comes a time where you can be stupid some of your life, or you can be dumb your entire life. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, if you're going to sit here and say, well, every relationship that Jane went through never worked out for her. Why? Well, this one, because with narcs, all the exes, all the exes are crazy. Okay. You guys are considered the crazy exes, guys. All of you are considered the crazy exes. You're all considered to be the toxic ones. You're all considered to be the insecure ones. You're all considered to be the jealous ones. You are all considered to be the problem. And the narcissist is the one who's sitting at the top of the pyramid with their flying monkeys at the bottom and everybody who's believing them, because they've managed to really just manipulate everyone to the point. Because listen, had you known then what you know now, okay? And this is why I am just so glad that I'm taking up these studies, and why I'm so glad I'm taking psychology. The reason why they get away with a lot of this, I'm going to tell you why. Number one, you never knew what you were experiencing, right? You're going through narcissistic discharge. You're going through all types of shit. Like you are so caught up in your emotions and what you're feeling at that precise moment. Okay. However long it's taking you, that time that you're trying to figure things out, you're trying to come out of confusion, you're trying to gain clarity. It all takes time, right, guys? It all took time. All this time that you're trying to rebuild the pieces, you're trying to mend your broken heart, you're trying to do all of this, that gave them enough time to convince other people you were everything that the narcissist is. Okay? They were convincing people way before they discarded you. They were convincing people while you were discarding them. They were expressing to people they're unhappy. The relationship is toxic. They can't take your abuse. They can't take your accusations. They can't take your bullying. They can't take your jealousy. They can't take your insecurities. They can't take it. They can't take it. They can't take it. In the meantime, all you were doing was confronting them on shit that you started to see through. And because you started to see through the bullshit, you started to see through their nonsense, that started to push them on edge. See, now everything every little speck, every little breadcrumb they were giving you, now that's not enough, guys. That's not enough. Now you're starting to say, wait a minute, hold up. I'm doing a little bit more in this relationship than you are. I'm contributing a little bit more in this relationship than you are. I'm giving, and I'm noticing that you're not meeting me halfway. You're not compromising. You're starting to see things. You're starting to see how things are. And because you're starting to see these things, se jodió. My facade can't hold it up anymore. Can't hold it up anymore. So now what do I got to do? I got to discard the person and find someone who is not going to see through my bullshit. Okay? Erica, please share with people the solution that will possibly make them feel better to seek outside help. If it's the only thing, one of the main things, and you, of course, that helped me. Well, give me 1 second, Butch. I'm sorry, because I missed a few people. Exclusive. Do you think it's common for them to send people to watch you at your job? Yes. Or for them to send people to come to your job since they can't because of a restraining order? Yes. Yes. They can watch you. They can send people. They basically, it's indirect contact. So it's like, if there's a restraining order, clearly they're not trying to run through the embarrassment of getting arrested for violating, a restraining order. But they will have people watch you. They'll have people monitor you. They'll have their friends watch you. They'll have their friends look through your social media if you have it. They'll have their friends, keep an eye on you, watch your moves. Because again, every narcissist does different types of tactics. So, what happens to you may not happen to another person. But it's common especially if you've cut off all contact and you've cut off any forms of communication, it's common for them to have other people do their dirty work. It's common. It's very common. It's like that in narcissist families. In narcissist families, if you have the ringleader, which is usually the narc parent, and they are looking at you as a target, they will utilize other family members to target you, so they can indirectly damage you, they can indirectly bully you, they can indirectly try to intimidate you, and they can use other people where it leaves no trace to them. Yes, they can. Yeah, magnificent. My narc tried to get me fired. So yeah. Because when they don't get their way and they become big crybabies, or they be like, you know what? Oh, I've always had my way. I've always been entitled, and now I'm not, and now I can't get my way. They're big. They're big walking Chucky dolls. Chucky and the Bride of Chucky. That's exactly what they are. Give me 1 second, Butch. Let's see, Jason. You okay? All right. So I'm up to date. I'm up to par with. Thank you, Andrea. Okay. Okay, good. All right. Hi, Camille. I almost didn't see you there. Guys, I'm streaming on both YouTube and on Facebook. So I have to kind of look both ways because some of the comments on Facebook doesn't show up here, and I gotta go back and forth. So Butch, Erica, please share with people the solution that will possibly make them feel better to seek outside help. It's the only okay. Now, I've always encouraged people when it boils down to seeking help. In regards to therapy, okay, a lot of people, well, let's put it this way: narcissists, they don't go to therapists. Narcissists don't go to therapists because, of course, in their delusional minds, there's nothing wrong with them. They don't need to grow. They are already evolved, and you're the one with the attitude. Shut up, mind your business, get out of my face. That's their attitude about it, okay? But we're not talking about them as far as therapy, okay? We're talking about survivors. We're talking about victims. Therapy has been downplayed. It really has been downplayed. And Heather, yeah, Heather, definitely. Let me know whenever you plan on visiting New York. We'll set something up. Therapy has been downplayed. And I think it's because of the way society kind of portrays it. Oh, if you're going to see a therapist, or you're going to see a psychologist, or you're going to see a psychiatrist, you must be crazy. You must be out of your mind. Well, you know something? I think if more people went to therapy and, try to create healthy boundaries and a healthier, just a healthier mindset, we'd have a lot less problems in the world. I'm just saying. But a lot of people downplay therapy because they feel ashamed. They feel like, oh, well, I should be able to handle my problems on my own. And I don't need no stranger telling me, what's wrong with me. And therapy doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. You can go to a therapist and it's like talking to someone. You're venting, you're letting everything out, but you're talking to someone who has been trained to help you in the situation that you're dealing with. You have, you have the advocates, you have, like people like me. I advocate very, very hardcore. I advocate for people who have been victims of abuse, victims of domestic violence, victims of emotional and mental abuse. And we can do but so much. I'm not a licensed therapist yet. I'm not, but I do my studies, and I do everything based on what I've experienced and of course what I've learned, which is the same thing that a therapist does. Even though the therapist may not have experienced it personally, they're basing it on what they've learned, what they've studied. Therapy is, I went to therapy, and that's how I learned about my codependency. That's how I learned about my enabling issues. I enable people because I was a codependent person. That's how I learned about a lot of different things. I thought I was borderline personality disorder. I thought I was suffering a personality disorder. And the reason I thought that was because so much was projected onto me that I internalized it, and I convinced myself. I said, no, you got to be borderline. I must be borderline. I must be borderline. My ex even asked me, are you bipolar? And I'm like, because I was always I did a video, guys, on my Instagram. I'm gonna post it up on YouTube, about boundaries. And does narcissists ever get their karma back? It seems they are untouchable. It gets frustrating to watch them just go and go and go, and nothing ever hits them. Malcolm, their life is their karma. Their life is their karma. They will continuously be voids, and they will continuously be empty. They'll be empty people. They will be dissatisfied people. They will continuously go through life knowing that they got to keep up this facade. They have to keep up this facade, and they have to continuously do it to convince other people, you know? And I don't know about any of you, but I'd hate to think that I would grow up in this world. I mean, considering I've had so much empathy within me, I'd hate to even feel remotely like a narcissist would. Think about it, guys. Just think about it for a second. Think about everything they projected onto you. That's how they feel about themselves. Believe it or not. That's how they feel about themselves. Everything they've projected onto you is what they feel about themselves. And my take of it is that if this is how you feel about yourself, this is how you perceive yourself, this is how you actually see yourself, I'm good. I'll be a survivor. But I'll be a survivor that has sympathy, that has empathy, that can maintain and sustain relationships, that can have people in my environment that, you know what, I may have to, use my intuition every so often. But narcissists are like, you know what they are? They're like fugitives, man. They're like fugitives. They're mentally and emotionally, they're living on the run. They're living on the run, and they're constantly watching their backs. They're constantly looking over. They're constantly guarding themselves, protecting themselves from I don't know what. But that's all because, they were taught to believe that, there are just people in this world that they can't trust. They can't, and when the reality was, it was their parents that they couldn't trust. Their parents convinced them that all of you all of you cannot be trusted. You guys can't be trusted. Okay? People like them can only be trusted. So if a narcissist was with you and they saw no familiar tendencies, no familiar traits, no familiar experience, it just this completely unfamiliar with, your level of empathy and sympathy and emotions and, and spirituality and things to that effect, clearly you're a threat to them because you are not representing the narcissist that's in their life or that was in their life. You are a threat. You're a threat. You are unfamiliar territory. You are someone who is, this right here. Okay. You're not manipulative. You're not controlling. You're not trying to make me do something I don't really want to do. You're not trying to make me feel your ego. You're not trying to make me do all of these things, which is something that they're used to, because if you notice, all of that they projected onto you was projected onto them by their caregivers. They're looking at you like, what's your deal? I don't trust you. You're not what I'm used to. You're not what I'm accustomed to. You're not part of the narc gang over here. You're a threat to them. And unfortunately, you've had to deal with someone who was lied to by their parents. And I strongly emphasize on that because let me tell you something, guys. It's a sensitive topic when it comes down to people and their parents, but I always call a spade a spade. And at the end of the day, if the individual is a narcissist, it's because either their mom was one, their dad was one, or both of them were. Okay. But that individual is not going to be a narcissist without learning these types of behaviors. And like I said, let's just be clear, someone who's narcissistic it doesn't deem them a narcissist. But you could be dealing with people who are narcissistic, where they are not a full-blown narcissist, but they have a lot of traits of a narcissist. And they actually, it's kind of like getting that first sip of water in the desert. It's like that. Okay, I got my first sip, and it felt good on the tongue, and it quenched my thirst. I want another one, and then another one, and then another one, and it keeps going, and it keeps going. Narcissists are. I'm trying so hard to. Their mentality is, and I told you guys this before. Their mentality is, I have no intention on committing to you. I have no intention on being part of your life forever. Okay, they're fly by night type of people. I plan on just being here for my own convenience, getting fulfilled whatever way I deem fit. So even if you tried to fulfill them the way you deemed it, the way you thought, okay, you're doing nice things for them, you're doing this, you're doing that, that didn't mean shit to them, guys. It's what satisfied them. It's what satisfied their thirst. That's what it was. So no matter how much you did, you could have done, you could have jumped through fire, you could have walked on hot coals, you could have did anything to try to make this person or these people happy. But if they didn't see it as, this is satisfactory to me, it didn't matter. It wouldn't have mattered. They are just the type of people that they don't want their freedom taken away. They want control, but they want their freedom. So they want to be able to control you, how you feel, what you think, how the dynamic goes with you, but they want their freedom. It's kind of like people who act single when they're in relationships. It's pretty much how it is. They act a different way. So when you're sitting there saying, oh, you do realize you're in a relationship with me. You do understand that we are in a relationship. And some of the things you did before we got in this relationship is not considered appropriate. That gets flipped over to, you're trying to control me. You're trying to tell me what to do. You're trying to change me. You're trying. They don't compromise. You look at it as compromise, right? You're looking at it as, I'm trying to meet you halfway. They're looking at it as, you're trying to just drag me into the ocean and drown me. In what universe does that make sense? Narcissists don't believe in compromise. But I was talking about therapy, which I didn't forget. Therapy is it's a good part of the process, guys. Speak to a therapist if you're going through the motions. Speak to a therapist. And I've said it before, I'm gonna say it again. Don't go to no rinky dink, I'm gonna charge you by the hour just to sit here, you're on the clock type of therapist. Okay, I'm not saying they're not good, but what I'm saying is, with your situation, you want to make sure that you're in the hands of someone who cares. Okay, who loves their job, who loves their profession, and wants to help you through the process, wants to be there for you. Yes, they're going to make money off of it because that's what they've gone to school for, but it's all within your work. It's all, your achievements are within your work, not with how much money you make. Okay, it's within the successes, the stories of clients and patients who can say, I went to this person and they just dug so deep and they worked with me throughout everything and they helped me through the process. That's the important part. Therapy is a very important part, guys. And even if you didn't go through narc abuse and you're just here just to see what's going on, therapy is a good way to maintain mental health. It's a good way to do it. It's a good way to just kind of release, whether you go weekly, whether you go bi-weekly, or even monthly. It's a good way to let things out, because sometimes you need it. Sometimes you need to do it. Okay. And I'm not saying your friends ain't shit. I'm not saying, you can't go to your friends. What I'm saying is sometimes you need an unbiased person in your life to help you decipher certain things. We have friends, we have family. Love you guys. I really do. Love my friends and family. But at the end of the day, you don't want to go to people who are telling you or giving you advice based on their own situations. Okay? Because you don't know if you're speaking to someone who's speaking back with you with a bitter tongue. You don't want that. Because then if you go taking advice from someone who speaks with a bitter tongue, you're going to end up making decisions that you wish you hadn't done it. So I encourage people to go to therapy. Therapy it's a very, very big, plays a very big role, but it's very, very helpful. Even if it's for a few times, go for it. Go for it. When I went, I learned so much about myself. You learn so much about yourself that you're like, oh shit, I'm really awesome. I'm really an awesome person. I'm really a cool person. And you know what? That's when you really come to terms and realizing this mofo over here just really screwed up a good thing. And now that I know who I am and where I stand, now you get to watch me in all my greatness. And that's where we want to be. That's where I want you guys to be. Rodney, narcissists are always looking around because all the people took advantage of and used and hurt that are actually out to hurt them. Yes. 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 And because you know what? Because they've done all of this, people start seeing them for who they truly are. They can't be around the same people anymore as much as they used to. Friends start to see certain things. So now, first and foremost, narcissists, they don't have a problem making new friends. They don't have a problem doing that. Like, well, screw all of you. I don't need you. I'll just make me a whole batch of new friends. And if it's new people, clearly they're not going to know what their tactics are. They're not going to know their manipulation. They're not going to know anything. So clearly they're going to redo all of that all over again. And I really find that more to be common with female narcissists. Female narcs are, we know how female narcs are, okay? You guys already know how I feel about female narcs, let alone we know how they are. And female narcissists are prone to doing this because, females are more, like they gab with the girlfriends and, it's they tell each other everything. And ladies, that's why I tell you guys, if you have female friends, be very careful. Be very, very, very careful, okay? You don't want to have a female friend turn out she's a narcissist and you done told her something so private and so, secretive, and you end up doing something that, you didn't mean to do it, but it pissed her off. And next thing you know, your business is all over the place. Like Tina, Tamara, Marie, Christina, all of them, they know your business. Like, bro, really? Really? You really just went into, man, don't be trusting these females, guys. I'm telling you. Awake now. Your good deeds have to fit in with their fantasy. They have a whole world inside their heads, a world where they are the star of the show. It's our job to give more and more life to the fantasy world. It's pretty much, it's pretty much do as I say. Do what suits my needs. Do what fits for me. I'm not going to compromise. I'm not going to take an extra step. I'm not going to take a step forward. It's you come to me, like the hither, come to me. Like, no, it don't work that way. When you start seeing, if you start dealing with people, first and foremost, I don't like people who don't believe in compromise. That's my whole take of it. I don't like people like that. Whether it's friendships, romance, family, whatever. I don't like people who don't do compromise. Well, I'm not doing this. Well, guess what, bitch? I ain't doing it either. Okay? We're not sitting here where Erica's going to do all the work. Erica's going to be the one coming forward all the time. Erica's going to be the one who has to put in 60, 70, 80, and you only putting in, 20%, 10%. No. We're not doing that no more. We're not doing that no more. My codependency days are over, which means that if you ain't meeting me halfway, then I guess what? It is what it is. You're not trying to meet with me and making this happen, then you can keep it moving. Go to your other peoples. Go do whatever it is you want to do. Because you know what? It's kind of like, remember that movie, Why Did I Get Married? That 80-20 rule, you know, you got 80%, but with a narcissist, they can have 80%, but because they think that that 20, they're in that stage of lack. So they're not focused on the 80% that they have. They're focused on the 20% that they lack. So they go and do everything that they do for you, they do to you, to go for that 20%. So now you got 20%, but you lost your 80%. Can't have it both ways. You know, we got to learn to be happy with what we have. We have to learn to, you know, just be satisfied with what you have. Stop looking at the glass half empty and look at it as, throw some ice in here, I'm good. They're just very, the more I think about it, the more I just, I get frustrated, guys. I get frustrated with it. But yes, they are definitely, okay, so exclusive. Is there any way I can tell I'm being watched? Maybe I'm not. You know what, exclusive? It's hard to, I mean, if you don't have social media, hi Jason. If you don't have social media, I would say, you know, either way, you know, you can kind of instinctually tell these things. You know, you'll feel certain, open up your instincts, because you'll feel certain things. But most of the time they usually watch, they'll hoover, they go through your social media, they do all of that. Listen, I have to keep my social media open. I personally, I try to just steer clear of my ex. I try to steer clear of this person. I try not to have any kind of contact or affiliation. And it's not because I hate them. It's not because you know, oh, I wish death upon. I don't do that. I don't wish anything on anybody. You know, I don't, to this very day, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. So this very day, I don't even hate him. I just don't respect him. I don't respect him. I don't see him in the same light. And I just avoid, because the very thought just triggers me. It triggers me into anger. It's no longer pain. It's no longer hurt. It's no longer crying with tears. It's with, you know, and it's like, I get that feeling of, you know, you didn't have to do me like that. That's my feeling. Like, you didn't have to do me like that. You didn't have to do me the way you did, but you did. Damage is done. It is what it is. So the best bet is to stay away from each other. I stay away from him. He stays away from me. At least I think he does. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to assume anything. But exclusive, there is no way of knowing. There really is no way of knowing, you know? The only thing I can tell you is to avoid going into that situation. Avoid that. Try to avoid that, you know? If you can avoid certain places that you know he is often, he's often gone to, or he hangs out or whatever, avoid those places. There's no reason why he should be around you. But at the end of the day, these people, you know, it's within their nature, because when they realize what they've lost, when they matter of fact, that's another video that I'm going to be working on. When they realized what it is they lost with you, okay, they lost everything when they lost you. You know, they were basically, it's kind of like the devil was just dangling a piece of meat in front of a hungry animal, and they fell for it. Narcs are the kind of people that fall for the devil's trap. And you can't, there's just nothing you can do about it. These are the kind of people that just allow, you know, the devil to just really play a role in their life. They allow the devil to do it. And of course, the devil's having fun, because not only did the devil take away, you know, listen, I'm not saying we're gifts from God, but come on, let's be realistic here. We're some fucking awesome people, okay? We're some caring, loving, generous people. And, you know, think about it. Like, if you can meet someone who was like you, wouldn't you be happy? Wouldn't you be like, shit, I'm the happiest woman, I'm the happiest man alive? If you could meet someone, and of course the opposite sex, that's the version of you, that's something to be proud to say, yeah, I would be extremely happy. A narcissist can't do that. Because if they meet someone who is just like them, it's like two volcanoes, that is about to erupt. And it's unfortunate. But that's a path that they chose. Guys, this path that they have, this is a path that they chose. They chose to do this. They chose to be in this lifestyle. They chose. And I was just telling, I was telling a friend of mine, I said, your parents are not responsible for your responsibilities. They're not for what your choices. I'm sorry, your decisions. They're not responsible for how you choose, what you choose in life. They're not responsible for that, but they do play a role, guys. And they play a role in, would you have considered these choices if they didn't? If they did not play a certain kind of role? You got to think about that too. We don't blame other people for our choices. We really don't. Okay. I don't blame my parents for my choices. I don't blame them for choosing to be in these dynamics. But there is some type of upbringing, there is some type of root that gave me what's the word for it, guys? There's a type of root that gave me that, that kind of push to consider these choices, How many of you, and I don't want to get too deep into it because we're going to be going pretty soon, but how many of you have come to the realization that you are attracting people in a way that, and I'm not insulting anyone's parents, but let's be realistic for a second here. You're attracting people in a way that resemble or reflect someone who was in your life, who's raised you. If you have, I'm not saying you have abusive parents. I'm not saying that your parents are narcissists, but a lot of you, if you do have narcissist parents or narcissistic parents, you are going to end up attracting people of that caliber in your life. You're going to end up doing that, Alicia, narcs will never be happy. They lack humility and gratitude. And yes, it is a choice. They are evil, not crazy. It's a choice, guys. It's a choice. They want to plead insanity. That's fine. You go ahead and plead insanity. But in my courtroom, you're fit to stand trial. That's the way I see it. And you stood trial. You were found guilty. And that's it. Plain and simple. Do you think they think about you every day and have flashbacks? They think about you, but not in the way you think. They're thinking about you as obsession. There is no warm memories. There's no fuzzy feelings. There's no puppies and candy canes. There's none of that. There's, damn, how did I let that one slip? I'm losing control. How did I manage to screw this up? I'm usually so good at this. How did I manage to not get to hoover that person back in? That's what they're thinking about. Okay, exclusive. They're not thinking about, oh, I really love the person. I really should have treated them nicely. I should have, shown them, I really care. I really miss them. I really love them. They're not thinking like that. Okay. They're thinking, I got to figure out a way to get her back. And whether that be getting you back in their life or getting back at you for revenge. That's what they're thinking. And at the end of the day, exclusive, as much as people would love to hear, yeah, they regret hurting you. They regret putting you through pain. They regret deceiving you. They regret. They don't regret anything. Okay? Regret is what we feel when we do something that hurts other people. They feel shame. they feel shame because not only were they found out, not only will they not be let back in, but now everybody knows about them. Everybody knows about what they're doing. Everybody knows what kind of people they are. And people are starting to now look at them like, so is that what you're really about? And now they have all kinds of eyes looking at them, judging them. And that is the biggest thing a narcissist fears: judgment. Oh, give me one second, guys. Andrea, after all the abuse I put up with, I will never get an apology from my. And you know what? Even if you did, Andrea, it would not be sincere. It would not be sincere. It would either be pretty much this way. It's really, if they give you an apology, it's because they want something in return. They want something at some point. They want something in return. They will not take accountability. They will not apologize for their abuse. They will not do it. Alicia, I totally realized that my dad was an alcoholic and developed codependency issues. So yes, I had to come to grips with the fact that I was attracting what I was familiar with. Thank you, Alicia. Absolutely. We have parents that have certain attributes that we have grown up with. So it's inherently, it's going to happen. You're going to attract people that represent certain parts of, certain dynamics you had with your parents. I'm not saying that, your parents are twisted. I'm not saying, although I do have people who come on my channel who have narcissist parents, who do. But the bottom line is that there is something that we're familiar with within these people because it's something that was represented in our lives growing up. Narcissism doesn't have to live 5, 10, 15 miles away from us. Narcissism can be right in the very next bedroom of our house. It's something that you're welcome, my love. You're welcome, Andrea. It's something that, that you could have grown up with. Bella, why does he still playing peekaboo if he knows it is the end? Because it's never over. It may be over for you, but it's never over for them. It's never over for them. Okay. I strongly believe that part of their karma is watching the one who got away become a big success, become happy without them. Actually, like that, to me, I think that plays a big part in their karma, is watching you, which is the one that got away, be happy with someone else, have a healthy, sustainable relationship with someone else, and see that, I wasn't the problem. I may have had my own issues. I may not have been perfect. I may have contributed to certain things, but at the end of the day, this whole, crime scene, that's on you. That's on you. And they become extremely obsessed. They can sit there. Narcissists can sit there all day, guys, going through your pictures, going through your social media, and not say a freaking word to you. They could just watch and watch and watch. And even though it's mental torture, they're masochists, guys. These types of people are masochists. They will freaking literally put themselves through mental torture because that's something that they've been used to throughout their lives. They've lived with mental torture throughout their lives. So it's nothing new. It really is nothing new. A narcissist knows nothing about emotions. They're always logical. Everything is logical. So at the end of the day, they're not sitting at home crying. They're not sitting at home crying and saying, oh my God, Anna is no longer here. Andrea is no longer here. Alicia is no longer here. Oh my God. They're not doing that. What they're doing is, fuck. How did I let that slip through my fingers? How did I not properly think about what the next move would have been because you made a checkmate move? Checkmate. They're not used to that, guys. They're not used to it. Do you think they remember the little details in your relationship? I think they remember the details that were beneficial for them. I think they remember those details. They remember details that were beneficial for them. I don't think they think about the emotional aspects, your emotions, your feelings, I don't think they think about that. I don't think they never considered it. So I really don't think that if they think back, well, I did kind of hurt their feelings. I did hurt them. I did, no, no. Their thing is, I'm justified in my behaviors. I'm justified in all the things I did. Because even if they thought about certain things, way back when in your relationship, they're always going to find it's kind of counterintuitive. They're always going to find a reason to justify why it's over. So even if for a split second they thought about, let's say they passed a restaurant that you guys always went to, oh, me and Erica used to eat here, whatever. They'll think about it for maybe a split second, but then they'll come to terms of the reality that me and Erica are not together anymore. And we're not together anymore because she was too controlling. She was too possessive. She was too insecure. She was too this. She was too that. And meantime, the only reason Erica questioned certain things was because, well, giving me reason to question certain things. But I don't really think they reminisce. We reminisce. They don't. Do you think the narc looks at pics or intimate vids of us to this day, even though the judge ordered him to delete it? He probably does. He probably like emailed it or sent a copy to himself. He probably does. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he does. Alicia, the narc's black and white thinking makes them believe that you won't survive once they leave. They lose it once they see you move on. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, like I told you guys before, I don't bash my ex. I don't sit here and say, oh, he was a piece of shit. Because at the end of the day, you know what? I did love him. I did have, a relationship with him. It was what it was. What pushed me, besides a lot of the other bullshit, was when he asked me if I wanted him to be with me out of pity. Like, he looked me in my face. He looked me in my face and said, what do you want, Erica? You want me to be with you out of pity? You never ask, first of all, you never ask someone a question like that, especially when that person has done more in the aspects of emotionally trying to fulfill you, love you throughout your flaws and all, cared about you, accepted you for who you were, and did more for you than a lot of people in your own damn life. To sit there and ask me, and I'm not conceited, guys. I'm not conceited. To sit there and say, you want me to be with you out of pity? I could tell that his ego was being very extremely stroked. And when you can tell when the ego is talking. You can tell when the ego is talking, guys. So at that point in time, I said, okay, that's how you think of me. That's what you feel. No problem. No problem. I was crying. I was upset. He asked me this in the interim of me crying. I was breaking down. I begged him. I said, please, I can change. Please, I can be whoever it is you want me to be. I can be whatever it is you want me to be. Let's start over. Let's start on a clean slate. I mean, I can change myself. I can change myself. I can change myself. You hear me saying I can change myself? Why am I going to change myself? That was my mentality at that time. Was I will change to be what you want me to be. I will mold myself to be what it is you want me to be so I can make you happy. So we can still be in this relationship. A relationship filled with covert bullying, a relationship filled with gaslighting, a relationship filled with indirects from your ex, a relationship. And because let me tell you something, me and my ex been through some shit, but at least my ex had the balls to do what he did. Okay, he had the balls to do what he did out front in the open, even though I already knew how things were going to go down. But when you got an ex that's extremely covert in her ways and everybody's looking at her like, oh, well, she's just being who shit. Nah, I'm good. But dealing with the relationship that I had all of this projected onto me, all of this abuse projected onto me, and I didn't do anything to cause that. I never cheated on him. I never stole from him. I never went behind his back with anything. I never did. I had nothing but the utmost respect for him. And you guys are familiar with that because you guys have gone through it too. So for them to look down their nose and say, well, you're a pitiful being, you're this, you're that. You think I'm so pitiful? Now I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you why you don't screw over good people. I'm going to show you why you don't bite the hand that feeds you. I'm going to show you why God favors me. And that's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did. And that's why I started the channel. And that's why I decided to help other people, because I look out, being a selfless person, guys, you look outside of yourself. You take your pain. Okay. I at one point thought I was a narcissist, guys. I at one point thought I was. I thought to myself, am I a narcissist? Because narcissists and codependents have so many similar attributes. And I said, oh my God, I must be a narcissist. Oh my God, I must be a narcissist. And that's when I come to realize, no, because if I wasn't a narcissist, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be doing any of this. I would not care to help other people. I would only care to seek a way to exploit people and just gather up as much attention as possible. No, I'm doing this because I know a lot of you are parents. I know a lot of you, your kids need you. A lot of your kids need you. You have a lot of important people in your life who need you. And yet you need to have the right state of mind to be able to provide that, to be able to continue that. You need your mental health to be in tip top shape. I know that pain. And instead of using that pain to project onto other people, okay, which I've been called mean, guys. I've been called mean because I'm not trying to get into a relationship with anybody, because I'm still working on myself. I'm still working on things with myself. I've been called a mean person because I say it like it is, because I'm no longer the soft-spoken Erica I used to be. I'm no longer the sweet, I mean, I'm sweet, but not in that sense of you can walk all over me and you could take advantage of me and take me for granted. I'm no longer that person. I'm the person who will tell you like it is. That's just the way it is. I do not want to be in a relationship because I don't want to put someone else through what I went through. I'm still working through that. I'm still dealing with that. So if I didn't care, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here with you guys right now. I would not be here. You know what I'd be doing if I didn't give a shit? I'd be laying in my bed chilling, watching Netflix, doing my thing. But I take my time. Even after working a long day of work, guys, because trust me, I've worked all morning. I'm here with you guys. And a lot of us have made so much progress, and I'm so proud of you guys. You have no idea how proud of you guys I am. And you are still going through the motions, but you're still coming here. And for new people who are joining and new people who are joining, the channel, and they're just, emailing me, and, it's a privilege to be able to be here and help people. People email me asking my advice, asking me questions. People, the comments, man, the comments on the channel, it just really encourages me to do so much more. And I'm going to continue doing it. And I'm going to continue doing it. And I'm going to I don't care if it's 5, 10, 15 years from now, I'm going to continue doing it. When I get my license, that I become a licensed psychotherapist, then we're going to go even harder. Because now I get to be like, hey, I'm certified, and you guys get to see the license right there in the background, and you guys will be here with me through every step of it. And I don't care. Listen, I don't pass judgment. I don't care if you flip up and you end up regressing. You end up going back. Just, you know what? Even if it's a split, oh shit, Erica, I fell for a Hoover. Listen, you're human. It happens. Just bring yourself back to the path. You understand? Bring yourself back here. If you're not sure about something, email me. If you don't know, or if whatever the case may be, you can email me anytime. Send me a message. Shoot that message. You guys have my Instagram. Shoot me a DM. If you guys have Instagram, add me on there, because I get more alerts with my Instagram. For some reason, my email, I guess because it's a lot. But if you guys have Instagram, so you can send me a direct message on Instagram. All right. Even if it's an emergency, it's 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, I keep my phone right next to me. I need it for the alarm anyway. email me. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. Don't hesitate to tell me, listen, I'm going through something. I've Skyped with people who have just like, I just need someone to talk to. No problem. Let's talk. I don't have a problem with it, guys. If it means helping you get through it, you know I'm here. You guys all know that I'm here. And I do too, Alicia. I love it. And I hope more and more people will come. You know, I'm gonna start streaming this more on Facebook and on YouTube. I'm gonna do it on both. Because I do have people who are on YouTube, on Facebook that you know, may not have a YouTube account, but it's time we start to expand it, you know, and really, and you know, this is a place where you have no judgment. You can be yourself, say what you gotta say what you need to say. Still, you know, if you guys are still interested, maybe, you know, a little further along the line in the future to do your testimonials, you know, I'm here for you on it. Good night, Butch. Have a great night. What's going on with the Narc shirts? I'm still working on the Narc shirts. I'm working on it with Amanda and Heather. Heather is going to be working on some designs. So, you know, I want to kind of have a little touch. I actually want to have a little touch of everybody. So if you guys, you know, I want to make shirts and start, you know, like passing them out. In most cases, I really, honestly, guys, and Heather and Amanda, I just wanted to keep this in mind. I would like to make shirts that are kind of personalized for you. You know, like if you have a certain quote that you like, or if you have a certain way of you know, like a certain picture, whatever the case may be. You know, I want to start like working on that too. So I'll go over it with Amanda and Heather and see what we can do. But Butch, thank you so much. I love puppies and candy canes. Maybe not that. Butch, have a great night, and we will be speaking soon, okay? So guys, yes, we're working on the t-shirts. I'm working on a lot of stuff. I'm still working on this book. I'm working on my studies. I am working on Not Being Driven Crazy by Amanda. So, you know, it's a full life. It really is. Plus I got work. So but I am just so glad that I can be here with you guys. And I'm so glad I could just talk to you guys. And I'm glad that my videos have been helping you. And I'm glad that they've been informative. And I'm going to continue doing it because you guys are that important to me. Okay? You guys are important to me. Yes. And I got the cactus. I'm getting the cactus shirt, guys. I'm going to get a special shirt with a cactus on it. I don't know if I'm going to have some raunchy words on the shirt. I'm really trying to refrain from cussing, guys. You know that, but we're gonna work on it. We're gonna work on it. But I still think you should have where you can have your Narcs picture on the shirt printed out. Well, you know what? Maybe like a caricature version. You know, we gotta be careful with certain things. So, you know, we don't need anybody trying to sue or anything like that. You know, or try to accuse us of slander because you know people are super sensitive about what you say. So we'll work on it though. We'll definitely work out the semantics of it. Yeah, Heather, I'm still gonna do the Vibe Tribe. I actually want to do a few different shirts. Me and Amanda were talking about it, so I'm definitely gonna work on a few of those different ideas. But guys, it's that time. It's that time. It's that time. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me. You guys you just make this experience so worth it. So worth it. So worth the journey. And all the new people that have come in. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new and check out a few videos, check out a few lives, see what it is that we get into, see what it is we talk about. And of course, if you have any questions, you can, if you are on YouTube, leave the comment in the comment section. If you're on Facebook, you can leave a comment in the same thing, comment section. So either way, leave a comment. If you have something you want to add to it, please leave a comment as well. Shoot me a message if you have any questions. And like I said, be sure to, for all of you Facebook users, be sure to check out the channel on YouTube, Intuitive Vibes, Narc Survival 101. Okay, it's in the link of the Facebook bio, and check it out. If not for you, for someone that someone who may be going through the motions of it. And this is what we do every Tuesday. We vibe, we chat, we have our little therapy sessions. People ask questions. I try to answer the best way I can. And, you know, everybody is just, they get that healing effect. And that's what it's all about. So guys, thank you. Heather, have a great night, my love. Oh, thank you, Janice. Thank you so much. I thank you. I thank you. And I thank God. I trust me, girl. I thank God every single day that, you know, I've had a heart that's been broken several times, but I still keep going. I still keep going. Oh, Jaquez. Oh, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Magnificent. Thank you, my love, for being here. Always a pleasure having you here. Alrighty, guys. So I'm going to call it a night. I hope you all have a great night. I hope today's live session did a little something for you, gave you a healing effect. And of course, like I said, if you have any questions, shoot me a message, leave a comment in the comment section. And of course, please be sure to leave a like on your way out. I really appreciate it, guys. So I will be seeing you guys next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same place. Until then, I'll be working on a few more videos and possibly talking to Amanda about doing maybe another live, maybe by the end of the week. So we'll see what we can do with that. So guys, again, thank you so much. Have a great night, sweet dreams, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys next week. Mwah. Bye, guys.